So let's grab a set of medium to heavy weights. I'm using 8-pound dumbbells. Just looking over to see, we've got, of course, total body here. So let's go ahead and start with our warm-up. Draw your feet hip width apart and parallel. Draw your knee up and over to a side lunge. Really press your hips back, opening up that lower body. So today we have 9 moves. We're going to repeat those moves 4 times through. So one move 4 times, 50 seconds on, 10-second breather. Then we're going to move on to the next move. Come on down to a low wide squat, feet wider than your hips, arms out to a T. Bend and extend your knees, chest stays lifted. Once we get through all 9 of those moves, we have a long, nice stretch at the end. Deep bend and extend. Hold the knees bent, tiny circles with your arms. Chest stays lifted. Go ahead and reverse that circle. From here, reach down, tap towards the opposite inside foot, come back to standing. So we'll do all of our strength at the first part, or rather the majority of the class, and then we'll do a nice long stretch, total body stretch. We're gonna hold those stretches as opposed to flowing through them. One more time on each side. Come back to center, hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze the shoulder blades together as you lift your arms up towards the ceiling. A few more breaths here. Gently release your right knee down. Untuck your right toes, pressing forward into your left knee. Chin and chest stays lifted. Opening up your right hip. Gently draw the hips back. Straighten that left leg. Point, flex, circle out that left ankle. Keep your body upright, or when you're ready, hinge forward for a hamstring stretch on that left leg. Gently rise up, release your left knee down, take a big step forward with your right foot, pressing into that right knee, chin and chest stays lifted. On your next breath, gently straighten that right leg, draw your hips back, stacking your shoulders over your hips, point, flex, circle out that right ankle. Wiggle your toes. You can stay upright. When you're ready, you're welcome to hinge forward, framing your right foot. Continue to flex your toes up towards the ceiling, heel towards the floor to stretch that right hamstring. Gently rise up, roll your shoulders up and back. Roll them up and forward. Shake out anything else that you may need to. And we're going to get ready for our class. Go ahead and grab a set of weights. We're going to be standing for the first 8 moves and we're going to come down onto the floor. So we've got upper body to begin. Ground through your feet, soft bend your elbows, one weight in each hand. We have candlestick curls, also known as a W curl. 50 seconds has begun. So your elbows aren't directly out in front. They're not directly out from your side. They're slightly at an angle. Curl and extend. Bring the palm towards the same shoulder. You can always come down to a kneeling stance if that's more comfortable. Keep it going. Elbows bend, elbows extend. If you're just joining us, make sure to do a little warm up on your own and then grabbing a set of medium to heavy weights for class today. We're around 1 out of 4, starting with candlestick curls. Abs are engaged. We've got 50 seconds on, 10-second breather, 4 times through. All right, release those arms down, shake it out. You've got 10 seconds. You can set the weights down or you can hold on to them. All right, here we go, round 2. Candlestick curl, bend, and extend. So again, those elbows are just slightly out to the side. Soft bend in those knees. You can walk your feet together, you can widen your stance, you can come down onto your knees in a kneeling stance, your choice. Full extend, full curl. Firing up those biceps right from the beginning. Nice shoulder work here as well by having the elbows slightly away from your body and by having your palms out at a diagonal. Last 7. That's 3, 2, and 1. Release those weights down. Roll the shoulders down and back. You got 2 more rounds here. Maybe circle out the neck. All right, find your stance, staying or kneeling. Here we go. Candlestick curls. You may also know them as W curls. Bend and extend. Elbows just out to the side. Drawing those palms up. You can always adjust your weights at any time. Do what you can. Elbows bend, elbows extend. Make sure to keep your shoulders relaxed down from your ears. You've got it. Stay with it. Bend and extend. Last 10. You got 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Finish up that rep. Relax it down. All right, you got 1 more round here. You got this. Make it your best yet. Find your stance, set it up. Here we go. Candlestick curls. Bend and extend. Staying up nice and tall. You've got this. Just like that, elbows bend, bringing the palms towards the same shoulder. Elbows extend, releasing the top of your hand back down towards your hip or your thigh. 20 more seconds here. We're gonna move on to our next move. So if you missed it, we've got 9 moves. We'll do them 50 seconds on, 10-second breather, 4 times through, and then we're moving on 9 times. At the very end, that's when we'll come into our stretch, a nice long stretch. All right, relax the shoulders down. Keep those weight, maybe adjust them. Walk your feet to hip width or slightly more narrow. We have narrow deadlifts, shoulders up and down. Make sure they're down from your ears. Draw your hips back. Glide those weights down in front of your thighs, your knees, down your shins. Where your body hinges is where your gaze follows. Avoid trying to find one particular spot. Since we're keeping our feet grounded, we're able to actually move our gaze with our body. The goal here is not how far can you bring your hands with or without those weights down to the floor. The goal here is keeping your back flat. Avoid arching or rounding your spine. Just gliding those weights down to the depth that works for you today. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Come on up, finish where you're at. Shoulders down and back. Find your foot placement, hip width or more narrow. Here we go, round 2. Deadlifts, really press those hips back. Imagine you're trying to tap your bottom to the wall behind you. Maybe it's close, maybe it's far away. Engage your abs as you draw the weights down the front of your legs, equally as you draw that weight back up towards your hips. Stay with it. Almost there. Round 2, so strong. Remember to keep your gaze directly in front. Avoid looking left to right. That's 3. Last 2. All right. Make sure those shoulders are down. Relax from your ear. Maybe wiggle your toes. And then plant them onto the floor. Here we go. Round 3. Narrow deadlift. Really press your hips back. Feel that stretch in your hamstrings. Keep it going. You're more than halfway there. Stay with it. Narrow deadlift. Rising back to where you started. Engage your glutes. Think about drawing your navel deep into your spine, up to the crown of your head to protect your back. Continue to breathe here. Avoid holding your breath. Last 3, 2, and 1. All right, we have our 4th and final set for our narrow deadlifts coming up in 3, 2. Here we go. Ground through those feet. Think about stealing your big toe straight back to your pinky, straight back to your heel, and then all the way up back to your big toe. I almost said thumb. You want to seal those feet in. Your knees are directly over your ankles. They're not tracking forward. So when I say try to sit your bum towards that wall behind you, that's by pressing your hips back, reaching your arms down at the same time. Keep it going. You've got 5. That's 3, 2, and 1. Finish up where you're at. When you get there, come to standing. Come back to feet hip width, slightly wider. Bend the elbows. Palms are facing in. We have a bent fly lift and lower. You can do this standing. To challenge your balance, zip your legs together, creating one long line with your lower body. You can also widen your stance to help with balance. You are welcome to come down to a kneeling stance here. Keeping those elbows bent at 90 the whole time, lifting the elbows up to your shoulders, not higher than your shoulders to protect your ligaments. If you're lifting your elbows higher than your shoulder, if that's too easy, you want to grab heavier weights. Keep it going for 10. You've got it. Bend, fly, lift, and lower. Last 3, 2. All right. Maybe grab water, shake it out. When you're ready, come back into it. We're going to start in 3, 2, and 1. Standing or kneeling. Now, if you're kneeling, you guys probably know what I'm going to say. And if you want more core work, lift those toes up off the floor. Using your core to balance as you continue to lift the elbows and lower them. Palms stay facing in towards your body the entire time. Lift and lower. Avoid lifting those elbows higher than your shoulders. As you lift those elbows, are you scrunching your shoulders up towards your ears? Keep them relaxed down. You got this. Last 10. Almost there. Last 5. That's 2. And 1. All right, we're going for round 3 next. Make this your 3rd best round yet. Lift and lower. Abs are engaged. Remember, you can be standing, narrow stance, wide stance. You are always more than welcome to come down to a kneeling stance with the top shoelace portion of your foot pressed into the floor for balance. To challenge your balance, to add more heat to your core, lift those toes. Keep it going. You got 20 seconds here. Bent fly, lift and lower. Last 10. Lift and lower. You've got it for 3, 2. All right, shake it out. Maybe roll the shoulders back. Maybe roll them forward. You got your 4th and final round coming up next. Here we go. Bend, fly, lift, and lower. We're moving on. Something new and exciting coming up next. Bend, fly, lift, and lower. Slow and steady. None of these strength exercises are we going for speed. You've got it halfway. Lift and lower. If you want more of a challenge, maybe try holding the elbows lifted for just a second and then lower them down. Elbows stay bent at 90 the entire time. Last 5. Whew. This one burns. All right, finish up where you're at. Relax the shoulders down. Now don't kill me. We're gonna place those weights on our shoulders. We're gonna walk our feet outside wider than our hips. Toes are gonna be turned out. We have good mornings. Just like a deadlift, except our weight is on our shoulders. You still want that flat back. So avoid arching or rounding your spine. Keep your back nice and flat. Think about sticking your booty out and then hinging forward. So your knees do not come forward any bit. You want to really think about tapping that wall. Maybe it's an imaginary wall behind you, and then rising up. If the weights on your shoulders hurt, you can always hold 1 or 2 weights just on your chest at heart center. Keep it going. Feet wider than your hips, toes slightly turned out. Last 2 and 1. Come on up, shake it out. When you're ready, come back to that stance. Here we go, round 2, coming up. Press those hips back. Gently rise up. Good mornings or good afternoons, depending on where you are. That's it. Really press those glutes back. Keep the abs engaged here. Almost there. Squeeze your glutes to the top. Press your glutes back. Last 10. That's 5. You've got 3, 2. All right, round 3 coming up next. We're going in 5. That's 2. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon. Very similar to a deadlift. The weights are on your collarbone, maybe at heart center. You're continuing to press those hips back. You're preventing those knees from pressing forward. Where your body hinges at your hips, that is where your gaze follows. So start out directly in front of you. As you continue to press your hips back, your gaze will come closer towards your toes, maybe directly in between your toes. Last 5. All right, come on up. We've got 1 more round. All right, here we go. Good morning. Hinge forward, press those glutes back. Rise up. Do not forget to continue to breathe. Engage your abs, protecting that spine. Almost there. Keep it going. 20 more seconds. Yes, you can. Last 10. That's 5, 3, 2. All right, release those weights down. From here, we have alternating forward lunge. So just like a walking lunge, weights by your side, chest lifted. Step your right foot forward, step your right foot back, step your left foot forward, left foot back. So we're firing up those quads here. Stay nice and tall. Make sure that stance is far enough that your front knee is directly over your front ankle. That back knee is directly under your back hip. You've got it. Step it forward, step it back, step it forward, step it back. Weights by your side. The weights actually add a little bit of balance. You can always do this with just body weight. you're still gonna get that quad work. Last 3, 2. All right, shoulders down and back. We're going for round 2, alternating forward lunges in 3, 2. Here we go. Step it forward, step it back. Make sure that back heel is lifted. As you come forward, chest stays lifted, shoulders stacked over your hips. You get the weebles and wobbles, just slow it down. Bring it back. You really want to push off that front foot to bring that foot back to your leg, back to where you started. That's it. Forward lunge, bring it back. You've got 5. That's 3, 2. All right, finish up where you're at, shoulders down and back. Grab water whenever you need it. We're going in 3, 2. Here we go. Forward lunge, step it back. Slow and steady. Engage your abs. I promise we're going to stretch all of this at the very end. Step it forward, step it back. Fluid movement. Your back knee does not have to tap the floor. In fact, if you are tapping the floor, please make it the most gentle tap. We only get 1 set of knees. Step it forward, step it back. You've got 7. That's 3, 2. All right, shake it out. We've got round 4. My hair clip keeps hitting the door. Here we go, round 4. In 2 and 1. Step it forward, step it back. Keep the shoulders relaxed down from your ears. So if you notice, you start to scrunch your shoulders up, be mindful and pull them down away from your ears. Think about those weights pulling your arms down. You want all the work to be in your lower body. Step it forward, step it back. 20 more seconds. Last 10. You've got 5. That's 3, 2. All right, set one weight down. Come back to that wide stance, feet wider than your hips, toes are turned out, bend in your knees, hinge forward at your waist, draw one weight down, row it up, release and switch. Row it up, release and switch. So alternating narrow rows. If that hurts your back, try engaging your abs. You can also come to a wide kneeling stance, hinge forward, bring the arms down, switch, row it up, and switch. One weight here. Navel pulled in towards your spine. Continue to activate your core. You've got it. Last 12. All right, finish up where you're at. We've got 3 more rounds. Narrow rows with that hinge forward in 3, 2. Here we go, set it up. Narrow row. Think about drawing that palm with that weight up towards your rib cage. Maybe past your rib cage. Stay with it. You've got it. Row it up and release. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades together as you draw that one arm up so much that's contracting both the shoulder blades, not just that one. You've got it. Keep it going. Narrow row, release, switch sides. Last 5. That's 3, 2. All right, finish up where you're at. Come on up. We're gonna reset round 3 in 2. Here we go. Give me that narrow row. Extend, row it up, extend. Abs are engaged. Take her outside. Keep it going. Not sure where everyone's located, but here in Northern Virginia, the weather's just been so crappy. My one dog has refused to go outside, so we're trying to get her to go back outside to use the bathroom as opposed to a pee pad. Work in progress. Only to get more snow next week. Keep it going. Last 7. You've got 5. That's 3, 2. All right, finish up where you're at. We got one more round of this, and then we're moving on. We've got core and lower body next. Here we go. Row it up, release. Row it up, release. Remember your options. You can stay standing, hinging forward. You are more than welcome to come to a kneeling stance, knees tracking out wide to assist with balance, hips towards your heels, and then continue to hinge forward just like you would if you were standing. Continuing with those rows, row it up, release, row it up, release. That's it. 20 more seconds here. Stay with it, so strong. You've got it. That's 5, 3, 2. All right, release down. Walk those feet in. Bring the weight to your right shoulder. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Left arm out. We're gonna come to a low squat. Rise up. Right knee drive. Hold it up. Pass the weight to your left hand. Left shoulder. Leg drop, lift. Left knee, left arm. Hold that knee up. Pass that weight over. Set the foot down. Sink the hips down. Press it up. Hold it up. Weight pass over. Lots of core here. Now, you can press it up, then add the knee drive. You can set that knee down as you pass the weight overhead. You can set the foot down and then come into that squat, or combine all the moves together. If you get the weebles and wobbles, that's okay. Just come back into it. You've got this. Last 7, 3, 2. All right. How's everyone doing with that one? It's a lot. It's fun though. Once you get it, of course, break it down. Combine the moves. Your choice. Weight to your left shoulder this time. Low squat. Overhead press. Left knee drive. Hold that knee drive if you can. Pass the weight to the other shoulder. Squat. Press it up. Switch shoulders. Set it down. Press knee drive. Switch shoulders. Set it down. That arm out to the opposite shoulder is just for balance. You can keep, whoopsie, you can keep your hand to your hip if you want to try more of a challenge with your balance. Keep it going. Last 10. You've got it for 7. Last 2. All right, come on up. You got 2 more rounds. Start on either side, right or left, wherever you finished. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Squat, overhead with a knee drive. Switch shoulders. Squat, press it up. Switch shoulders. Squat, press it up. Switch shoulders. Maybe try flexing that foot as you hold that knee up. Keep a micro bend in that standing knee. Avoid locking out that knee. Keep it going. See how high you can get that knee. Try to hold it there. Maybe it's mid-thigh. Maybe it's hip. Maybe it's towards your navel. Last 10. You've got it for 3, 2, and 1. Finish up where you're at. One more round of this. Shake it out. Here we go. Make this your best yet. Do what you can. Try to challenge yourself. Again, don't go for speed. You can have fun with it and make it more fluid, or you can slow it down, breaking down those movements. Just never compromise your form just to do an extra rep or 2. That's it. Squat overhead with the knee drive. Switch sides. Squat, overhead knee drive. If you lose your balance with that knee drive, you can set the foot down. You can find your focus until you catch your balance. All the things. That's it. Last 5, 2. All right. Really relax those shoulders down. You'll see why. Standing feet longer than your hips. Reach that weight overhead. We've got bus drivers. Just side to side. I'm already instantly regretting these weights. That's okay. I have no idea where my lighter set is. And we're not gonna go heavier. Side to side. Now you can be kneeling, you can be standing. Try to keep those arms out in front. You can have a soft bend in those elbows. I'm gonna cheat after all. Do a little bit lighter. Here we go. Just like, I don't know what kind of bus driver this is or where this name came from. I get the concept, but hopefully no one's driving a bus this way, never less any vehicle. Just draw that right wrist over the left, maybe slightly past depending on your rotation of your shoulders. And then switch to the other side. All right, bring it in. Round 2, coming up next. In 3, 2, all right, press it forward, hold it out. Right over left, open, left over right, open and switch. I got 2 extremes here. One's too heavy, one's too light. All right, you got this. Do what you can. You can have a bend in those elbows. You can hold them straight. Almost there. Keep it going. Almost there. You've got this. Stay with it. Last 7. Standing or kneeling. Bus driver, last 1. All right, come on up to standing or stay kneeling. You want more of a challenge, and you're standing, reach overhead, give me 1 knee drive. Try to hold that knee, or you can tap and lift. You guys know I'm always trying to find ways to make it more challenging and always to add more heat to the core. So if you're standing and you want to make it more challenging, maybe add a knee drive, tap and lift. Maybe just hold that knee drive. Remember, keep a soft bend, that standing left knee. Avoid locking out that knee. Tiny bend. If both knees are down, both feet are down, have a tiny bend in both of your knees. Do what you can. We can do 1 full time with 1 knee, 1 full time with the other knee. Last 10. I know it burns. You've got it. Don't stop now. That's 3, 2. All right, reset. Shoulders down and back. All right, kneeling or standing. If you're standing, if you get it on the right side, try the left side this time. Press that weight out, over and over. If it's any consolation, we'll be on the floor. It's not gonna be easy for our last move. You guys know this, you know me. It won't be easy, but it'll be fun, it'll be worth it. We'll do it together. Just alternating, right over left, left over right. Maybe add that knee drive if you're standing. You can always just hold the knee lifted. Remember to keep a micro bend in that standing right leg. Avoid locking it out, tiny bend. You've got 10 more seconds. That's it. Last 3, 2. All right, come on down to the floor. Bring one weight with you. We're gonna hold that weight overhead. We're gonna hold our shoulders lifted. Extend your legs out long. Wide scissors. Alternating, lifting and lowering one leg at a time. The lower your foot goes, the more challenging it is. So you can always just hold your legs up at a diagonal, little kicks. Maybe closer to the floor. You can reach them all the way to the floor. You can make them wide kicks, small kicks. You can always plant your head, neck, and shoulders all the way on the floor, or to add more upper body and core, upper core, you can crunch and hold your shoulders lifted. Little scissor kicks, big scissor kicks, do what you can. That's it, you got 3, 2, and 1. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Rest that weight down. You've got 3 more rounds. You got this. Here we go. Second round. Wide leg, small scissors, your choice. You can point, flex, or relax your toes to make it more challenging. Keep the legs straight. You can also bend the knees. Keep the knees bent the whole time and just do little toe taps or heel taps if your feet are flexed. That's it, almost there. You've got it. If your shoulders are lifted, try to lift them an inch or 2 higher. Crunching and holding for 7. That's 5. Last 2. All right, release the knees down. Catch your breath. We're going for round 3 right here. This is your 3rd round. There's no surprises. You know what you're doing. You know what you got yourself into. Make the kicks as wide or as narrow. That's it. You're halfway. Big flutter kicks, little flutter kicks, any kind of flutter kicks. Keep it going. Last 2. All right, release your head, neck, and shoulders. Release your feet. Create a tiny arch in your lower back. Zip your lower back to the floor. Reach the arms overhead. Last round. So you really want to engage your abs, draw your navel deep in towards your spine and up to the crown of your head. Keep your lower back glued to that floor. Not any bit of air or space can get between your lower back. If your back starts to lift up, don't lower your feet so far. Keep them up at an angle. You want your hips to be arched towards you. So if you have your hands on your hips in this movement, you would want your thumbs closer towards the floor and your pinkies lifted up with your index fingers, as opposed to your thumbs rotating towards your heels and pinkies towards your chest. That's 3, 2, and 1. All right, set that weight aside. Right from where you're at, extend your arms and legs long, head, neck, and shoulders into the floor. Create a tiny arch in your lower back. Draw your knees into your chest, curl yourself into a tight ball. Maybe roll side to side. Lower your head, neck, and shoulders. Keep your knees towards the outside of your rib cage, grabbing the back side of your thighs, your calves, or the outer knife edge of your feet, and just rolling side to side, continuing to press your lower back into the floor. Gently come back to center. Plant your feet close in towards your hips. Knees are hip width apart and parallel. Lift your right leg to the ceiling, flex your right foot, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Gently allow your right knee to fall away from the center of your body. Hands by your side. Figure 4, glute bridge, lift and lower. One more, lift it up and lower. From here, allow your knees to fall to the right. Come back to center, allow them to fall over to the left. One more time, each side. Gently come back to center. Draw your left knee in towards your chest, keeping that right ankle over the left thigh. Bind your hands behind your left knee. You can also bind your your left shin, pulling your left knee in, opening up that right hip. Gently release your head, neck, and shoulders. Release your left foot. Release your right foot to meet the left. Reach your left leg long, flex the left foot up towards the ceiling. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, keeping that foot flexed to protect your knee. And gently press that left knee away from your body. Hands by your side. Continue to press that left knee away as you lift your hips up. Gently lower the hips down. Inhale, lift one more time. Gently lower the hips down. Maybe cactus your arms, allow your knees to fall over to the left. Back through center, over to the right. One more time each side. Come back to center. Bind your hands underneath your right thigh or on top of your right shin, deepening that figure 4 stretch. Gently release your right foot to the floor. Release your left foot. Draw both knees in towards your chest. Rock and roll yourself a few times along your spine. On that last time, gently come on up to standing. From here, come to a wide-legged stance. Arms out to a T. Fold forward, stopping halfway. Draw your elbows wide behind your head. Lift up halfway, just your upper body. Hips stay low, lift, and lower. One more. Come back to halfway, reach your arms out to a T. Release your right hand down to your left foot, ankle, calf, or thigh. Reach your left arm up. Maybe gaze up towards your left fingertips or down towards your right fingertips. Come back to center, tee out your arms. This time, release your left hand to your right foot, ankle, calf, or thigh. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Gaze can be down or up. Back to center, tee out the arms. Come all the way down to the floor. Back to that wide-legged forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and just sway side to side. Releasing any tension in your head, neck, and shoulders. Stretching your lower back. Gently sway through center, release your hands towards the floor, roll up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders up and back. Toe heel your feet in to hip width. Reach both arms up high overhead. Draw your right foot behind the left like a little curtsy. Left hand grabs right wrist and bend over to the left side. Bump your hips to the right. Inhale back through center, arms overhead. Feet hip width. Draw your left foot to the outside of the right. Right hand grabs left wrist and deep side bend over to the right. Inhale back through center. Widen your stance a little bit wider than your hips. Bring your arms out in front. Clasp your hands and bring your palms facing outward. Round your spine, bringing your gaze towards your navel, towards your thighs, the floor, your toes. Create space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Keep that bind if you can. Come over to the right. Back through center, over to the left. I tricked you all for some more core. Just kidding. Release your hands, come back through center. Release your hands to your lower back. Fingertips facing down. Draw your elbows in towards one another and then gaze up towards the ceiling. Stay here or press your hips forward, continuing to draw your gaze up towards the ceiling, maybe towards the wall behind you. Press the hips forward. Inhale, come back through center slowly. Gently bring your gaze forward. Sweep both arms up. Tee out the arms, cross your right arm over the left. Gently drawing your right forearm into your left shoulder using your left forearm. Open, switch sides. Left arm across. Open. Draw your right elbow wide behind your head. Lift your chin off of your chest if you tuck it like I do. Open, circle out the wrist. Left side. Lift that chin off the chest. Release your bind, circle out your wrist. Circle out your shoulders, up and back. Forward and down. Nice big inhale. One more. Fantastic work. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic